Hello,
Hi guys,
I'm Tatiana,
I'm Angel.
and we're the Makers HQ. So we haven't been here for a minute.
Yes, it's been like 3 weeks?
Yes, 3 weeks, but we're back.
We're back.
So we just wanted to thank everyone that basically
Subscribe, subscribe, that's been subscribed even though we didn't post a video for like 3 weeks, I think.
That's it. So,
but you guys keep coming in and that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. So for today, we're just going to get right into it, okay? So we wanted to do a comparison between doing sublimation and heat transfer. So I, in the past, used to do a lot of heat transfer products, as well as just use it a lot in my everyday. So basically, I've been an artist for a long time. And back in the day that I was starting, sublimation wasn't as popular as it was now, and how you would do transfer onto garments was mostly with heat transfer or vinyls. And especially if you wanted to have like multiple colors, you would definitely go into heat transfer. So now that we've been doing sublimation for about a year, when we started, I had no idea. It sounded like so far and so bizarre and just so different that I couldn't really wrap my head around it. But now that we've been doing it for a while, I have a very good grasp of what it is to do sublimation versus heat transfer. Angel has never done heat transfer before, and so this will be our first time doing it.
Today I'm learning.
Exactly, and I've never done it with the paper that I'm doing now, but we do have a few tips if you are going to do heat transfer. It's a very good way to get colors onto cotton or other natural materials, but you can also do it on polyester and man-made materials. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna do step-by-step heat transfer, and I'm gonna go through the process with you so that you have a better understanding. So this is 100% cotton. It's not, the shirts that we got were not like any brand in particular, and they were not the best quality brand. I just wanted to get t-shirts that you could see where it could basically get heat transferred and sublimated on without having to worry so much about the quality of the t-shirt. Now, the better the quality, of course, it's gonna take the transfer usually better, and also you'll have like a nicer t-shirt, right? But since this is just for tests, we're just gonna use these two t-shirts that we already have. So that's the first thing. So for heat transfer, the cool thing about it is that you can get heat transfer paper at like Walmart or a big box store, and it usually comes just in a pack, and you can print it on your printer, okay? So it doesn't have to be anything that's like you have to get a special printer for it.
That's a good thing.
That's a very cool thing. So some people will do heat transfer, and if you have like a small business and you just want to do like a t-shirt that has your name on it, for instance, then this is a perfect way to get something that's done with a graphic right away. And like sublimation though, heat transfer is better on light fabric unless you get specifically heat transfer for dark fabric, and that usually feels more like plasticky. It feels more like a vinyl for most companies, not all, okay? So we went with a light t-shirt. The second cool thing about it is that it can also be used in laser printers. So not only can it be used for inkjet printers, it can also be used for laser printers. And you can get a lot of companies, like printing companies, that will, if you bring your paper in, that will just print for you. So you don't have to worry about getting a specific place to do like the sublimation for you. Kinko's does it. I've done it with Kinko's a lot in the past. I had a printer who did heat transfers, and he just used a regular machine. She just used a regular machine. It was my lady printer for many years, and that was really cool. So that's something that you can do right away. The other thing that's really cool about heat transfer is that, like we said, it can be on natural materials. So I've done it on cotton, I've done it on leather, which I'm gonna show. It's very awesome. On leather, I actually did accessories for many years, and I have a bag which I still use that was done with heat transfer. And it still looks really beautiful. So that's like a little bit of like both things that are super cool about that. What else is awesome? The only thing I would say is that if you do use a natural material, that you should test, because for instance, a cotton will print differently than a linen, it'll print differently than a silk. Like everything has a different feel to it, and you should definitely test. But I've done linen, cotton, I've done silk, I've done leather. I've just done a bunch of them and tested a bunch of them. I've tested the commercial ones. I've tested the ones that you can find, like, you know, at Kinko's and them, or rather at Walmart. And you just have to go through the brand. When you get the paper, it's gonna give you the instructions as to how long and how much, like how hot you have to have the machine if you use a machine. But if you get the ones in the pack, a lot of times you can just use them, especially since they're like 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. You can just use an iron and you can get like very good results, right? So that's very awesome. So that was all the details for heat transfer. Now we're gonna try on this t-shirt. I'm gonna try it in the back. And I just decided to do it in the back because I like wearing white t-shirts. And this is one of my drawings. And if it works, that's awesome. For this one, we are going to print it the regular way. So basically what we do is you use a lint brush to take off the lint from the t-shirt. We just use tape or whatever we have lying in the house. If we have a lint brush, we use a lint brush. If not, we just use tape. It's not a big deal. And we're going to remove the lint from the shirt before we press it to remove the wrinkles, okay? I don't know if this piece is big enough.
Yeah.
I think you need something bigger, or you're good?
Oh, good.
So just, if you don't have a lint brush, don't worry about it. You just have to remove the lint from the area in which you're going to be doing the t-shirt. In my case, it's a very small area, so I'm not gonna stress it so much. Then for a few seconds, you're just gonna press it to get the wrinkles out, as well as to remove, like basically prepare it for the press, right?
How long is it gonna be?
So for
we have
this
to increase
one,
the time.
Okay.
Yes.
So for this one, it's a little bit different. So I got this at a printer, and she said that it had to be for 180 seconds. No, my bad. 180 Celsius for 30 seconds. Okay. And it had to be peeled hot. That was her major instructions. And this is actually something that I forgot to mention. But for sublimation, because everything gets taken, like the heat of the inks gets basically swollen up by the heat of the polyester, so they fuse. If you have a white border, it's okay because it's going to disappear into the t-shirt, into the white, right? Because there's nothing really that was printed on. But for heat transfers, it doesn't. What if you were to leave a border around it, you would have a border that you would feel on the t-shirt. So what you would usually do, let's say you have a shape, is you would cut around the shape as close as possible to make sure that you don't have that white border, because it's not cute. And then, and that's one of the things that I didn't like with heat transfers. I felt like it was always like one of those stickers like that you have that just stays on top. So I usually try to go with like shapes that can look very, like either circles or easy, that can just look good on t-shirts. And especially with the black, you definitely have to cut as close as possible, because it will leave a white border.
Like a frame.
Exactly. It will leave a frame. The design, I'm putting it on the back. I think about here is a good place, right?
For fingers, fine. No,
Exactly.
maybe it's too low.
Maybe it's too low.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay. So we're not doing this to sell. We're just doing this for me to wear. So we're guesstimating.
Yeah.
Make sure you put it in the middle. Make sure you put it exactly where you want.
Hold this one second. Yeah, I think it's good.
Angel is the one that does all the calculations of the shirts, because I
That's how they look.
they look great.
Like this.
You cover it, and then you put your Teflon or parchment, and then in this case, We'll be right back. So 180 Celsius, which is about 320 Fahrenheit, and for 30 seconds and peeled hot.
Okay.
So
we're back. 2, 1. Here we go. Out. This paper out, and then I peel it.
Yeah, just hold this back and just peel it hot. Awesome.
That's it.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yes, it's super nice. Let's get it out.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Just give me the cardboard.
Ha, this is so cute. Oh, I
That's
love
it.
this.
Super nice.
Oh, now I wish I had put it in the front.
But we have another one.
We have another one. And anyway, now I know. I purposely did this small because since we were testing, I wanted to make sure that I had something to do. Oh, actually, I forgot. This is something that's the most important. Well, not the most important, but that's important too, is that when you're going to be doing it, you have to reverse. You have to do a mirror image. So in this case, she didn't do a mirror image because I am in
because when we do the designs for sublimation, the place that we work with, the first time I did it, I mirrored the image, and they sent me the image back saying that the machine automatically reversed the image. So I never did it again. I just sent it like that. I guess in this case, it was the same thing, but the machine doesn't reverse it. It just printed the way it is.
It printed, and also, the thing is that I also went to her, and this is not embarrassing, but is the truth as well. My Spanish is still limited after living here for 2 years. And so we were talking, and she said, I have to reverse it. And I said, yes. But then I got confused because I was thinking she meant like the dark one. And so anyway, basically at the end she was like, do I reverse it? And then I was like, no. So we didn't get it reversed. But when I got it home, I realized that I should have asked her to reverse it.
But it doesn't look that bad.
It doesn't look bad.
It's not like
but it's just, if it had writing,
it would have been
reversed.
But in this case, you can't even tell.
Exactly. So that's a t-shirt. So now we're going to show you a simple sublimation, which is the same process, but the difference in how bright the colors are. So it's not the same image, and I purposely did that because, again, I wanted to make sure I did it smaller just in case I wanted to test it on something else. And because if you're doing tests and you do, let's say, a huge image and it doesn't come out, like, it kind of sucks because you ruined the t-shirt. But in this case, I was like, okay, this is my test t-shirt, so if anything, I could put it in the front and wear it to sleep. So we're going to do a sublimation now to show you the difference in, also to see the difference. Here, for instance, I can touch it and feel it. Touch it and feel it.
Yes,
it feels kind of rough, right?
Yeah, but it feels better than vinyl.
Then it feels much better than vinyl. And also, the nice thing about this is after it cools down a little bit, I'm going to press it for 5 seconds or so, just so that I can get it. Yes, because it's see-through. But also don't forget to remove the lint. Yeah, so I'm going to press it just to make sure that, you know, it kind of seals in the sublimation, the heat paper, excuse me. A lot of people don't do it, but I found after years of doing it that I think it makes the illustration or the design stay longer, okay? So that's for that. Now, for the sublimation, it's a completely different design. It's also a bigger design that we're gonna try. And we're gonna tell you, like, when you touch it, how does it feel? And also if it comes out with the colors being brighter, okay? So again, you just take your, you press it for 5 seconds. You remove the lint. Yeah. If you have a lint brush, we have tape. Then you press it for 5 seconds just to get the wrinkles out. In this case, it's polyester. So again, for sure for this one, because we don't want the thing to go through, we're going to definitely put something in it.
Cardboard.
We put a design, which is a Gustav Klimt design. One of my favorite painters.
It's very intricate.
Yeah, and as you can see, why I chose this one is because when you use sublimation paper, you think that the design is very dim because of the way that it looks when you look at the sublimation paper, right? But you see, as you do the sublimation, that it's extremely bright and that it livens up, which is not the same thing for transfer paper.
So I put it like 4 fingers.
Yeah,
right?
that's good.
Let me put it in the middle.
I have to increase the temperature because it's going to be a classic sublimation.
Okay, yeah.
To 300 or 200 Fahrenheit, so 395.
Yes, 395.
And for 30 seconds or 35 seconds?
35 seconds.
We have returned. Take your time.
Yeah. 1 paper, 2 papers, and
oh, I can already see it.
yeah, it's so bright. Oh wow, super nice. Let me take the cardboard out. Here it is.
Okay, wow. This is
Insane.
very
I know.
priestess. So this is amazing. So I'm very happy with this, with this T-shirt as well.
But sublimation
I love the results.
never
No,
disappoints,
sublimation never fails. It's just sublimation to me is always finding the right.
It's just that polyester is a very weird fabric. You know, it's not. It's hard to work with polyester for anything. Like only for sports, and still you need to have a good polyester mixed with something else.
Yeah.
Other than that, what are the chances you're gonna wear polyester on an everyday basis, especially in summertime?
Well, I mean,
You know?
for sublimation, as long as you're doing let's say 65 poly, 35 cotton.
Yeah,
it
that's
gives
what I'm
it a
saying. You
nice
need to
feel.
find a blend,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
to find a blend, it needs to be I don't know, but this looks amazing.
Right?
This one looks fantastic.
Okay,
Let me
so
see this
basically the poly, you can't feel it.
No, nothing.
The cotton, you can feel exactly where there's a cotton. It has a texture to it.
Yeah.
But it came out super good. Next time I'll probably use the same image. This time I just.
But I feel like if it's not DTG, DTG.
Yeah,
that's the name?
DTG.
Anything else on cotton will have a texture.
Yeah,
it will have
it usually does.
because there is no technology that can match DTG at this point.
No.
Everything else has a texture.
Yeah.
But this one has less textures than vinyls.
It does.
All the vinyls that we did are more plasticky. This one it's like, it's not like this, but it's softer.
It feels nice.
Yeah, it feels better.
super nice.
Yeah.
So this is basically the comparison.
Yes.
There's
this
really
is
nothing else.
very interesting. The heat transfer is I've never done it before, and for white or light cotton colors, it's awesome. It's amazing because you don't have to do vinyls, you know, and vinyls you have to cut them if you want to do a writing or something. You have to cut them like.
Yeah.
But this. It's like sublimation, basically it's the same thing, but
It is.
on a different paper.
It is. And I would always recommend that you test for sure the quality of the paper, to see the quality of the paper, to see your time, to see your t-shirt.
Your t-shirts.
Just know that if you're going to start something, even if it's a business or whatever, you still have to test. You're still going to have some, not loss, some test trials that you have to do, because my sublimation paper or my heat transfer paper,
or even the t-shirts,
work with your t-shirts. Exactly. And so that's what we recommend. In this case, like I said, sublimation always rocks, but like we said, sublimation, it's poly or percentage, mostly poly or man-made. So, you know, that's already something that's not the same as if you do, like, for instance, cotton, organic cotton, any of that stuff, where you have a better feel and it has more quote unquote prestige for your brand or for your shirts. So it's really for you to test, but at least now, if this is your first time seeing this.
And that's something that we, after being in the States, like people, sublimation is not as popular as heat transfer. And that's not a mistake, but it's something that a lot of people are learning about sublimation now, not knowing that it's so cool, you know, because heat transfer is limited to this, to like black and white cotton, and that's it, which is not limited because it's a lot that you can do, but only now there are more people showing what sublimation is or what this machine can do. You know, because most people use this for heat transfer. That's how they call it.
Yeah.
But not sublimation.
No.
And now here, that's why it's mind blowing to us because
here sublimation is very
sublimation
popular.
is very popular.
But it's also because here a lot of the times fabric is cheaper and it's not the same quality as in North America, where you use people don't have a problem buying a polyester t-shirt as much as they would in the US. I don't think I've worn so much polyester until I came here. It's not even a question for us, but for people here it is. And so it's a different mentality.
Yeah.
And so if you have access to t-shirts that are very nice quality polyester or polyester blend, and you can do, or even other things that you want to do, right? Like maybe sportswear or anything that has to do with polyester that you can print on that looks great and that's okay for what it is that you're going to use it for, then I definitely recommend sublimation. Now, if you wanted to do something else that required maybe a nicer hand for whatever it was.
Yeah, that's why after you involve the Cricut and all the stuff that is you needed to do.
Or even going all the way to custom printed fabric.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think that's good for today. I think that's awesome. If
very
you have
happy
any
with
questions,
this
me too.
Yeah, so
if you have any questions at all, please. Wait.
Like and subscribe.
Oh yes.
That's me.
If this brought you any value, please
like and subscribe.
Yes, and we're gonna be doing more videos. And if you have any ideas as to videos that you would like to see, please leave them in the comments. We're going to see if something makes sense for us. We're definitely going to do it because we're looking at different ideas that we can do to bring more value to your lives as well as to ours.
Okay? Exactly, yes.
And that's it for today. Yeah, he learned something. That's why he didn't talk much. So
I was like, I'm learning now.
Exactly. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. All right?
Bye, guys.
Bye.